afternoon. Welcome to Anfield. We'll talk to both managers before the game starts, and we'll also hear the views of our two guests today. George Graham's got some pretty good memories of this place. And also I'm delighted to say we introduce a member of the Liverpool squad to our team. He's injured, he's not playing, so he's with us. It's Danny Murphy. Welcome to both of you. How would you assess Liverpool's season so far, Danny?
It didn't start too well with the defeat to Chelsea, but more recently we had a good run, 3 games winning, and the defeat last week was disappointing, but we need to bounce back today, and what better game to do it in than Arsenal.
And how would you assess Arsenal's season so far, George? Because people have been critical, yet they're top of the league. What are they on about?
Domestically, fantastic. I mean, I don't think they've reached their peak, you know, the way they've been playing the last couple of seasons. But they're at the top. I think they can get better. And they've only had probably one bad performance and one bad result, and that was against Inter Milan in the Champions League.
OK, we'll get some more memories from George and more assessment from the boys in just a second. But here's the team news today. Liverpool will make one change from the team that lost at Charlton. Heskey's out. Kewell comes in. That's his first Premier League start this season. For Arsenal, 4 changes from the side that beat Newcastle in the rain. Sol Campbell is back. As we mentioned, Ali Adier comes in for Wiltor. There's no Vieira, there's no Ljungberg, there's no Bergkamp. They're all injured. So let's talk about that Arsenal team, George, because, as we say, there's been a bit of criticism. People are saying that the money problems, the off-the-field problems, the on-the-field problems, the discipline problem, it's been a bad season, and they're running out of players. What's your assessment? Well,
isn't it amazing? You're the top of the league, and the media have still got to sort of like find things to talk about. I mean, if it's down to football alone, there's no problem. Arsenal are having a great start to the season, but they have got problems, probably financial ones. They should have added to the defensive players at the club, but they haven't. But they're still at the top there. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you know, it's football as usual.
Why haven't they added to their squad? Why haven't they brought in defenders? Is it just the new stadium and the money's being drained? Personally,
I think probably finances is a part to play in that decision. But it's a lot more difficult to get good defenders, you know, especially when you're talking about the best teams in Europe. So probably that is one of the reasons why they've not brought anybody in as well. OK, well, they've got this man back. He's missed the last 3 games following the death of his father. They've missed him, haven't they? I think so, and they're playing Touré, who's a bit, you know, inexperienced to play at that level. I just think that Martin Kewell, for me, you keep marking for the big games, and I think the big games is one like today, because if they get a good result today, if they got a win today, it would really put Liverpool, you know, quite a few points behind, and it would be a great start to the season. And I think they needed Martin Kewell today, and also against Inter Milan in the Champions League. Yeah, so obviously they've got Campbell. Kewell's not playing today, or not starting today. Kolo Touré, though, the newly installed centre-back, is playing today. He's been an ever-present. It's been, as you say, possibly a problem position for them, but manager Arsene Wenger has brought him in, made him a centre-back, and is generally, so far, very pleased with Touré.
He was completely new in his position. He has only 7 or 8 games in this position, and I must say he has never been disappointing. He has always been very encouraging, and we had a little bit of fear that he would sometimes, under pressure, maybe panic, but nervously a little bit because it's new for him, but he coped very well, and in fairness he has played in some big games and in some very difficult situations, and always he did very, very well. I'm very happy with him.
Has he surprised you, how well he's done?
Yes, a little bit, because I thought it would take him more time, but he's composed on the ball, he's strong in the fight, and he's quite calm at the back, and I must say, yes, I expected him to be a little bit more nervous.
Is the George Graham jury still out on Touré? Yeah,
I mean, he's done very well. I mean, nobody knows what the boy's best position is yet. But when you get somebody like Martin Kewell, who's a natural defender, he's probably the only one in the back 4, Martin, who actually he actually enjoys defending. So I think the jury's still out on this boy, but he's done very well. They're top of the league, you know, what more can you ask for?
Well, let's ask a Premiership player, when you have to make a new position, your own, is it very, very difficult to change at this level or not, Danny?
Yeah, I think it is, but I think it's beneficial if you can play in different positions. Therefore, you're going to play more games, and I think he's done really well. He's been a big plus for Arsenal. He's athletic, he's strong, and I think he's really made that position his own. So we'll see how he does today against Michael, because he's up against one of the best today.
Well, up front for Arsenal, the man on everyone's lips, certainly on our lips in this studio because we've been practicing a lot. Jeremy Adier. He's a young French striker, 20 years old. And George, Arsene Wenger seems to have this wonderful scouting system in France, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think that's one of Arsene's biggest gifts, really. He's come over from France, and he knows all the best young players, especially the ones that have come from, say, from Africa. And they actually pick up these players who nobody's heard about in this country, and he's blending them into stars.
Is it the same thing, Danny, at Liverpool with the French connection here too?
Yeah, I think they're both very knowledgeable with the knowledge of the French kids. The two we've bought in the summer, Letalak and Flo, can't pronounce his surname. They're both really good players, really classy, good players who are going to be big stars for us. So I think obviously with their knowledge of the game, it's going to benefit Liverpool and Arsenal respectively, because they can bring them players over for a reasonable amount of money, if not nothing.
Well, Danny's manager, of course, made that famous comment about make or break, this game being the one. Whether it is or not sure. He's backtracked a little on that, but if you look at the table, I suppose, Danny, if Arsenal were to win this, I mean, that would be a 9-point gap. That would be a lot to make up, wouldn't it? Yeah,
it would be difficult, very difficult. I think today is about making sure we get back to what we're good at, which is defending well, getting around them, making it difficult for them. And just getting a result, really. I don't think a draw would be the worst result in the world, but a defeat is unthinkable, yeah.
Okay. Well, as we mentioned, after last weekend's game at Charlton, and Kevin Lisby's hat-trick, Gerrard Houllier gave a very interesting interview, saying today's game was a make-or-break fixture. Is it?
I don't deny the fact that it's an important game, probably more important for us than for them. But no prize has been given so far in October. It's too early, I would say, in the season. And what I'm pleased with is the way we played. I mean, whether it was in Everton, even Blackburn, we play well at the moment. We create chances. You can check on that, and we have a lot of attempts at goal. And I would say the progression of the team as far as going forward seems to really settle well. Just the fact that maybe we're one or two wins or one or two draws short, really.
Why is it more important for you than for them?
Because of the 6 points difference which are at the moment. But, I mean, last year at some stage everybody was ruling Manchester out of the title, and they won it in style.
So you never characterise this game as make or break?
No. I would like to have a good game of football, but usually the Arsenal and Liverpool games are always full of events and always interesting. Very, very seldom goalless games, so we hope we keep the tradition of that.
Are you glad that Liverpool's tally of red and yellow cards isn't scrutinised in the same way that Arsenal's is?
Yeah, I think it's a bit unfair on them sometimes, probably because they had a high record, but you want your players to be fighters and winners, and if you want to win, you've got to have these fighting periods all the time. So maybe as a manager sometimes it goes over the top, but I prefer that way. I mean, as I said before, I'd like to have more Steven Gerrard in my side. Whatever, I mean, sometimes happen, you have to accept that. Although he has managed to control himself and probably has improved in his disciplinary record, I don't think he picked up a yellow card this season and still displayed well.
Steven Gerrard is on the brink of signing a new contract. How much of a boost is that for you?
Well, Steven knows that we want to keep him and he wants to stay here. So I don't see how an agreement cannot be found on that, because he's the future of the club, and he means a lot to the team, to the fans, and I think the fans will give him a warm welcome when he walks on the pitch because of his declaration, which are good because they are without any ambiguity. I mean, he doesn't seem to say, I'll go where there's more money and so on. He said, my future is here, I want to stay here. And he knows that we'd like, to work with him as well.
Well, Steven Gerrard then is about to agree to a new deal. Let's get the inside track from someone who knows him well. I mean, you're a good friend of his, Danny. Tell us a little bit about Steven Gerrard and what he gives to the team as a footballer, first of all.
Well, as a footballer, he's got the lot. You either have players who create or destroy, and he's got both, which is why he's such a fantastic player. And he's the future of the club, as the boss just said there. You know, he's a local lad. The fans like him, and it's quite simple, really. If Stevie Gerrard's playing well, Liverpool are playing well. That's how important he is to the team. So, you know, it's important that we get him to sign and keep his future. You know, make sure his future's here. And today's a big game for Liverpool, and as I say, if Stevie plays well, and I think we'll be okay.
These are live pictures. Look at that rain now. It's absolutely teeming down outside this window.
Spoil his hair, that. He'll have put gel on this morning.
Listen, if there's one... I mean, there's so many positive things about Stevie Gerrard, and we could talk all day about that. The one negative thing is perhaps occasionally, does he go over the top? I mean, we talked about two-footed challenges and things.
Yeah, he's a passionate player. He's trying to work on that side of his game, I know that, but I think people forget that he's still a young lad. You know, he's been around a while. But he is a young lad, and the enthusiasm and, you know, sometimes naivety that comes with youth has happened to Stevie a few times. But he's a good player and a good lad who knows when he's done wrong, and he's willing to hold his hands up. And as the boss said, this season he hasn't had a yellow card, so long may that continue, because we need him in the team.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't scored as many as he'd like at the moment, but certainly when he does score goals, they tend to be spectacular. You remember the one for England against Germany, and then of course there's this one against Arsenal. You were playing in this one, weren't you?
Yeah, well, he's got that in his game. He can score terrific goals. I think in the beginning of this season he's been playing a more defensive role, so he hasn't been able to get forward as much. But today with Salih playing in there with him, giving him a bit more protection, I think that'll give him the licence to bomb forward and get in the box, and you know, maybe get on the end of a few things. So hopefully we'll see that side from him today.
What's your perspective? You were a midfield man in your time, George.
I actually saw him last weekend against Charlton, and as Danny said there, I think sometimes you're taking away his natural going forward now, because he's got a tremendous shot, loves getting forward, and he will actually get back and do his defensive role as well. But last week he was actually sitting, you know, in front of the Liverpool back four, and I think that's taken away a part of his game.
You think that he should be encouraged to go forward more? You think that's one of his strengths rather than just sit there?
Yeah, but I think you've got the right combination in midfield. If they had a hold in midfield like a Haman alongside him, that would be perfect. Then Stephen could get on with his midfield role and pop up and score goals and have efforts on goals as well.
Now, we talked about Arsenal's lack of signings over the summer. Liverpool made a few, and this was the most high profile of the lot. Harry Kewell. I mean, is it a difficult question to ask you what his best position is, Danny? What do you think?
Well, I've seen him a lot last season for Leeds, playing in the position he's playing today, and I think he's good in that position because he's got licence to go and attack and do what he wants to do without worrying so much about his defending. I mean, he plays the wide roles in midfield just as well. He's capable of playing lots of roles. Just having him in the team is a plus, because he threatens the goal, he scores goals and he makes goals.
Yeah, he's playing more up front today, and there has been, of course, you've heard about this, why haven't Liverpool got any width criticism in the past. A, do you think that's fair, and B, do you think it's changed now with his introduction?
I think he's added a bit more flair and creativity that people said we lacked, but you have to play to your strengths. Over the last few seasons we've been a very a solid team, a team that likes to defend and work hard, and with people like Michael in your team, you've got to use the strengths that you have, and we got criticised for that a little bit unfairly, I think. If you look at the last 3 to 4 seasons, how we've progressed as a club, the things we've won, and the progression we've made other than last season in the league, then you have to look at that and say that the way we've been playing has been the right way.
Did you feel you were a narrow team or not, or did you think that was unfair?
A little bit unfair. I think you can't win these days. It's a catch-22. If you're defending and not scoring a lot of goals, but you're still winning games, then you lack creativity and you lack width. If you're flying forward and having players going all over the place, then defensively you're not right. You can't seem to win. I think it's getting a balance, and that's not easy to do. That's what we're trying to do at the moment. But he's definitely a player that in your team does give you that bit more creativity, and someone who can score goals from anywhere and win you a match in a moment.
Well, we've talked about make or break quite a lot. Back in 1989 there was a very make or break game here. Some of these fans probably don't even remember it, but George Graham remembers it. Basically, Arsenal, your team, George, had to win 2-0 at Anfield and went 1-0 up. Thought, that's fair enough. Go on, what was it like?
Yeah, it was fantastic, really, but looking back on it now, Ian, I thought Liverpool played the wrong type of game. They knew they had to win 2-0, so instead of coming to Anfield and being under the cosh defensively, they actually were quite content to sort of play for a 0-0, and that was against their philosophy. And they actually encouraged us, especially in the second half, to go and attack them.
So you think they changed their game plan?
I thought so, yeah, because you come to Anfield and you're always, in those days, you know, with Ian Rush and Kenny, they're such an outstanding team. For them to actually hold, you know, to keep a clean sheet, that was against their nature. They loved attacking you. And I thought it suited us right down to the ground. And second half, we got the goals and they didn't have any time to come back.
Now, what happened after the game? Because people like me were chasing around London trying to talk to you and get an interview with you, but you disappeared. Where did you go?
Yeah, I went to Scotland the very next morning with my son and with a game of golf up in the links up in Scotland. And my brother and his friend. Well, I just wanted some peace and quiet away from all the media hype in London, and it was terrific. And but looking back on it now, I would say in football, if you're going to win something, enjoy it. And probably in hindsight, I would definitely enjoy it a lot more now.
Right. So
because it goes too quick.
I was going to say, then, if you ever win the double, take some advice from George and enjoy it. Don't go and play golf in Scotland.
Well, it's like, I mean, the year we won the treble, we won the FA Cup and UEFA Cup within a week.
What did you do?
Well, we weren't allowed to do much because we had a Premiership game after the UEFA Cup, but you look back now and they were both massive achievements, but at the time it all happened within a week. You didn't really get the chance to, you know, you look back now, not many players have won a European medal or an FA Cup medal for that matter. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. When you do win something, enjoy it, you know.
Celebrate.
Celebrate.
Okay, well let's speak to somebody who wasn't celebrating in 1989. Ian Rush played for Liverpool. He's here now with Jeff Shreves.
Ian, whenever it's Liverpool against Arsenal, how often do people remind you of Anfield '89?
Quite a lot, I think. It's one of them games that'll go down in history, you know, as one of the greatest games from an Arsenal point of view. I think from Liverpool's point of view, you know, it was disappointing simply because I think we'd played West Ham just before that and beat them by 4 or 5, and that meant, you know, Arsenal needing to have them to win by at least 2 goals, and you know, unfortunately for us Liverpool supporters, you know, they'd done it.
Is it still painful to see the video?
Yeah, very much so. I think you know, Michael Thomas actually came to play for Liverpool, and I think he's remembered more for that goal than for playing for Liverpool. You know, I think we were glad when we got him because the pain he inflicted on us, you know, and during that game.
That one stands out. But what sort of struggles has there been over the years between the two clubs?
I think it's always been 2 top clubs, you know. I think 2 great teams. I think defensively, you know, they're very sound. I think, especially when George Graham was there, the main thing was you know, not to let a goal in. And Arsenal, you know, they carried that on as well. The Arsenal back four have been very famous, you know, for not letting goals in. And our job as strikers then, obviously, was very fortunate to play with Kenny Dalglish, was to try and score past them. And I think it just built up to these tussles and all that, where, you know, it made the game, whoever won, it was always usually by the odd goal.
And what about the present day battle?
Well, I think it's another 2 great teams. I think both more attacking, I would say now, both Arsenal and Liverpool. I think this season Liverpool have been fantastic going forward. They have great players like Michael Owen, you know, Harry Kewell, Emile Heskey, to score goals. And I think when you look at Arsenal, you know, Thierry Henry, you know, he's been absolutely fantastic. You know, they've got Will Tour, you know. So for me, I think it's more of both attacking sides now, and I think it's again the battle of the wits. Again, you know, got 2 great managers, and I think the battle of wits, and hopefully, you know, from my point of view, Liverpool come out on top.
We'll see.
Lovely.
There's your legacy again, George. You see, your first objective was not to let the opposition score. Are you sick of that by now or not?
No, not really. I think when you're trying to build something, you've got to have a very, very good foundation, you know, and as long as you get that right, then you can start progressing from there into midfield and then up front, you know, which is the most difficult part of coaching, you know, is to score goals. But if Arsenal could have a back four like we had, I think they'd be winning everything in Europe.
Right, let's look at the statistics between these two. There's one very interesting statistic. No team has actually won more points against Arsenal during the Premiership years than Liverpool. As you can see, those statistics underlining Liverpool's superiority. Here at Anfield, head-to-head, again, Liverpool much in command. Those 2 Arsenal wins in December 2001 that we've talked about, and August 1992, the very first month of the Premiership. And the odds, well, take your pick. Dead level. Make or break, maybe, as far as the fans are concerned. Always a very important fixture, this one. But who do they think will be making the headlines after the match is over?
Massive game. Need to get the points, obviously, to keep ahead of Chelsea and United. Harry Kewell, I think he's starting to hit form now.
If Campbell plays, that'd be good.
Gerrard, playmaker. Thierry Henry, 2 or 3 goals.
Michael Owen is a key player. He's playing great football at the minute.
Just got to win.
Well, I don't know what the weather's going to do this afternoon because we've had all sorts of torrential rain. Now we've got sunshine. Let's hear what our commentators think about it. Here's Andy Gray and Martin Tyler. Afternoon. Commentators think about it. Here's Andy Gray and Martin Tyler. Afternoon.
Ian, the summer, which has been truly wonderful, I think the best I've ever experienced as a football commentator, is over. It is cold, sweaters on, Mr. Gray's posh coat, and a very slick playing surface for the likes of Thierry Henry and Michael Owen to possibly exploit.
It's certainly a forwards football pitch, Mark, no doubt about that. You know, defenders hate it when it's like this. The ball skips at them a little bit quicker. Controls of the utmost importance if they're going to take a touch as defenders. We're left to look back as far as Titus Bramble at Highbury, and that was the same kind of conditions. There were mistakes, there were 5 goals. I'm not so sure there'll be 5 goals this afternoon, but I think defenders won't be looking forward to this as much as the attacking players on the pitch.
Well, we're all looking forward to it. Let's remind you of the team news if you missed it earlier. Liverpool, well, they have been unlucky with injuries recently. 2 bad breaks at Blackburn mean a long time without Barosh and Carragher. Haman still hasn't been seen this season. And Monday's reserve game put Danny Murphy out of contention today. The 2 recent absentees are back on the bench, Stefan Ancho and ahead of schedule, Chris Kirkland. 1 change in the 11. Emil Heskey left out just a week before England take the field in Turkey. Salif Diao comes in midfield. Harry Kewell moves further forward alongside Michael Owen, who is averaging a goal a game so far this season.
Please don't persist.
Arsenal have come north, still without Vieira, Ljungberg and Bergkamp, but Sol Campbell is back in the fold after time out with his family. It's a timely return for club and for country. Arsene Wenger told Arsenal shareholders this week that there will be new signings when the transfer window reopens in January. He also added that night that Jeremy Aliadier would be seen sooner than you think. And the manager as good as his words. Aliadier, a 20-year-old striker from France. He scored as a substitute against West Bromwich Albion in the Premiership last season, but this is his first start for the Gunners.
Well, I don't remember watching these 2 in recent years, Martin, when we've arrived here talking about defensive problems for both teams. It's normally an area they're very solid, but we have that problem. And when you look at that, maybe it's because Steve Finnan is a little more attack-minded in getting forward than Jamie Carragher. Maybe that's a little cause for it. Certainly Risa will come forward on this side as well. The lads in the studio were talking about Steven Gerrard doing the Haman role recently, but I think with Salif Diao on the pitch, they might just alternate that. And Stephen, I think today, if he wants to get forward, Diao will just fill in for him in that area. So we may see Steven Gerrard just let loose a little bit more in that midfield area, man, to go and influence the game higher up the pitch. First time I've seen Kewell play with 1 up top at Liverpool, and it'll be interesting to see how he and Michael Owen gel together as a front 2. No change in Arsenal's system, it will be the 4-4-2 we've become used to and recognise. And when you look at that, pretty solid from Lehmann through the back 4. You would say that's it, that's about as strong as it gets for Arsenal. So, back 4 and goalkeeper back to full strength. It's a midfield area here. You wonder just Gilberto and Edu and tandem together. Yes, 2 good players, but I always look at a midfield without Patrick Vieira and think that's a little weaker. Jeremy Aliadier, what a way to come into the Premiership like this.
We're at Anfield for the Barclaycard Premiership meeting between Liverpool and Arsenal. The rain has stopped and we are interactive as well. Press the red button on your remote for access. There they all are. And player cam starts for the first 15 minutes with Liverpool's Harry Kewell playing up front for the first time today. Here's Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Your applause, please, for our
Thanks,
two
Ian.
mascots this afternoon. The visiting mascot, 13-year-old Tom Finney.
Rivals all their careers. Gerrard Houllier was brought together with Arsene Wenger when these two footballing professors from France were awarded honorary OBEs for their contributions to the game in their adopted company. And Jeremy Aliadier, who's come through the Arsenal youth ranks, although he is from France, and helped the Gunners win the Youth Cup a few years ago with a spectacular spree of scoring to equal a record at that level that was previously held by Michael Owen. Aliadier would love to make similar tracks into the senior game.
Interesting to see how Arsenal adopt a policy today, Martin. We saw certainly up at Old Trafford, we pretty much played a containing game, didn't think of one shot at goal that night. I'm happy with the 0-0 after the Inter Milan game, but I think we'll see a more adventurous game plan today.
That adventurous run was from Henry. There is the suggestion that Arsenal are a bit over-reliant on him.
I think that could be levelled at Michael Owen at Liverpool at his season so far, Mark, as well, couldn't it?
8 out of 12, yeah. In domestic and European competition. And the comparisons will be interesting today and maybe very significant. Gerrard. Graham Barber's the referee. He was on Champions League duty in midweek, in charge of the Ajax match. Here's Risa. Schmitz has made a run through the centre. Campbell doesn't quite get there. Ashley Cole does. Parler wearing the Arsenal captain's armband today. Just connecting with Jon Arne Risa. They're not the top scorers, Andy, but Liverpool in one way are the Premiership hotshots this season in terms of scoring attempts. In 7 games, 128 efforts at goal, and only one other league club has got over the 100 mark. That's a difficult ball to defend from Gerrard, but defend it, Edu did.
And that's great position to put yourself in as a defender. The only disappointing thing for Liverpool is no one got near there as well to get across the line of the goalkeeper. Michael Owen trying to sneak in behind.
Kewell to take the corner.
I'd expect to see this fizzed in as well. As I say, wet goalkeeper, difficulty dealing with it.
Sol Campbell just trying to get his bearings back. It's 2.5 weeks since he last played. Had a week's training. But plenty of other things have been on his mind, of course. Ischan trying to get away from Touré. It's played for Risa to strike, and strike it well he did. Touré intervened. It possibly was going wide of the post, but here comes Aliadier on the counter-attack, stopped by Gerrard. Dudek's got a sprint on here to try and prevent the corner.
Not so sure it had to ground. It had to go to ground here, Mark. It looked at a bit of space. Steven Gerrard just gave him a right rollicking. I think he felt the same. Why are you diving at that? Just run over, control it and clear it.
You know what players say, goalkeepers.
Yeah, I know. They're not often wrong either, but let's be fair.
Anyway, Arsenal have the throw. Here's Kolo Touré. He's been getting some very good reviews in the football press. Lawrence cross and Dudek's there.
Good ball.
Juve making good ground. Pires trying to get back to help Ashley Cole, but Juve still going. The crowd enjoyed that.
That's been a blank opening to the first 4 minutes. Game's well stretched. Might surprise a few if it stays like that. So it might be a little tighter early on in this game, first 20 minutes. But as it started like that, nice and open.
Steve Finnan bedding into life after Fulham. Gerrard really anxious to impose himself in these opening minutes. Got Jow for company in the central midfield. Son of Jow played in that reserve game against Everton on Monday and got sent off in an incident with an Arsenal player, would you believe? Franny Jeffers, who's back at Everton on loan and has figured large in meetings between Liverpool and Arsenal last season. A supposed dive at Highbury in that match of a penalty apiece. Nice turn by Kewell, lost Edu comprehensively. Owen. Owen can't stop the cross, Touré deals with it.
And there's areas of the pitch you can gamble or take a chance, and Edu did there. Kewell was so aware, went the wrong way, almost got his side in trouble.
Jow. Juice. It's a brisk beginning from Liverpool in particular.
That's the one thing about the front two, Kewell and Michael Owen. They might think, well, they're a bit small, they'll have to play the ball around and work their movement, but I'll tell you what, both are extremely good in the air, Harry Kewell in particular. And Liverpool won't be shy, Martin, if they do get it wide. Expect to see them fizz balls like that in and get Michael Owen and Harry Kewell movement, getting after it. Michael's also a good header of the ball.
Gerrard. His colleague next week, surely, Sol Campbell. Not what Gerrard had in mind for Liverpool against Arsenal. Henry. Obviously disappointed Henry with Lauren's support then. Touré can only hoist it high. Harry Kewell going for this one. Gilberto's there as well. A bit of a coming together between Pires and Juve. To encapsulate the eagerness of Liverpool. Jow and Gerrard sliding in for the same ball.
Yeah, it might have just been off Harry Kewell there.
Arsenal, of course, had a long trip in midweek. 4-hour journey to Moscow, a 3-hour time difference to deal with. Liverpool will have loved those problems, of course, not qualifiers for the Champions League for this season. Owen. It's a good try!
I think they're sneaking in, Martin. But that's what I mean about the surface. You see the way that ball took off? It really does skip along the surface here, and it's on Lehman in a flash. Oh, what a good fingertip this is from the goalkeeper.
Joint top scorer in the Premiership so far with Ruud van Nistelrooy, 7 goals for Michael Owen. And amazingly, he's never got 20 in a Premiership season. Must be on for him this time around. And out come Arsenal with Edu. Making an angle. Steve Finnan is the defender. And he defends.
I'll tell you what they've done long time with is Ali Adier there, Martin. Steve Finnan's job might have been a little bit more difficult. Lovely break, but that was wasteful from Liverpool. You've got a corner, and then within 5-6 seconds you're defending your own goal. Real sloppy.
Pires. Doesn't get a touch. Touré tight on Owen. Touré. What a late decision, I understand, from Arsene Wenger. as to whether to bring Campbell back or not. Martin Keown, of course, made that decision harder by playing so well.
I mean, I was surprised to see George say they missed Saul, because Martin Keown might think they're a little disappointed. Clean sheet at Old Trafford, clean sheet in Russia, was it?
Yeah.
And then a win against Newcastle. Not a bad 3 games for Martin. But he's back.
And Sven-Göran Eriksson will be particularly pleased, I'm sure. Parla. Reese's ball has gone beyond Campbell, and Lehmann mopping up.
Good position. I'm just thinking at the beginning of the game, I wonder what the back fours will do. Both back fours will be really aware of the pace that can harm them in behind if they stay high up the pitch, like Arsenal did then. They were happy to say to Risa, go on, put it over the top. Michael Owen was happy enough to run in after it. I wouldn't like that to happen too many times.
Kewell scored a couple of goals in away matches in Liverpool's colours, but he's looking for his first here at Anfield. Actually, Kewell scored in both matches against Arsenal for Leeds last season. You'll remember the one at Highbury on the day that Arsenal surrendered the championship. A bit flashy from Juve, but it came off. Another flick, and a shot from Schweitzer.
Super stuff. That's what I say about the pitch being made for frontline from midfield players. Look at the way this ball sips across the surface. Not there, flicking again, another little one there. Only so keen to take the shot on, test the goalkeeper's handling. 2 good early efforts from Liverpool. I always think that if you're the home side, one of the best things you can do to get the fans up, to get them noisy. There's a couple of early shots at goal, work the goalkeeper. That's what Liverpool have done.
Criticised the last couple of years for being a bit on the negative side. Despite the fact, if you look at the records, they've scored plenty of goals. This season, Gerrard Houllier has had the 2 negatives about being too adventurous, and it is about getting the balance right, of course. It was very astutely put by Danny Murphy in our studio before the game. Damned if you do and damned if you don't. Parla, who's actually the only player who's been in both Arsenal's Premiership wins at Anfield. They were 9 years apart. Gerrard. Out by Cap. Here's Cole, another who'll be, if fit, expected to be in that England team a week from today. Touré. Now Lauren. Raising of the foot, I think that's what Graham Barber has blown for against Ashley Cole.
Ball just got away from Martin, just on the stretch for it. It's not lucky.
Stand by for Operation Anfield exercise. Stand by for Operation Anfield exercise.
Herpia. Stefan Onsho fit again for Liverpool, but Gerrard Houllier sticking with the 2 centre-backs who have forged a partnership of their own. Onsho and Herpia, regulars for so many years, but Bishan has done well. Possibly his individual form has been a little bit better than the skipper's. Jao, Risa. Liverpool lining up for the Norwegian's cross, and it came off Owen, and it's pumped in by Harry Kewell. He scores at Anfield for Liverpool. Instantly taken.
It's done straight, isn't Martin? Owen tests the goalkeeper, Schweitzer tests the goalkeeper, but third time up, Harry Kewell just plants straight past him. A good bit of fortune there. Ball could have gone anywhere, Martin, but forget that. Watch the finish, watch the control. A real awkward ball to hit at an awkward height. And doesn't he execute this absolutely perfectly? That's a stunning finish from Harry Kewell. They've deserved it. They've been the better side in the opening 15 minutes. They've really started on the front foot. Gerrard Houllier's side get the reward.
Well, after those 2 goals for Leeds in 2 games against Arsenal last season, he's carried on here with his new club. And as Andy pointed out, in keeping with the way Liverpool have started the game, been right on the front foot and coming from the right on his favoured left foot, Kewell could not have struck it better.
Message for Rory Mulaney in the upper centenary stand, please, to go to the concourse.
When you have a spell on top of the match, you want to emphasise it with a goal, and Liverpool have done that.
Please go to the concourse.
And here's Pires. Interception by Touré. Lauren. Liverpool again hungry, getting around the Arsenal players. Their home form has been a bit patchy, although it has got better from a defeat by Chelsea on the opening weekend of the season. Lacklustre goalless draw with Tottenham, and then a win that was somewhat chiselled out against Leicester. Now they're a goal to the good against the Gunners, who come here leading the Barclaycard Premiership.
And it's all started from the front, Martin. I think Harry Kewell and Michael Owen, they've been the ones that have started it. And I think when your front men put people under pressure right up that length, high up the pitch, then it transmits to the rest of the team. And Michael Owen and Harry Kewell not only have been a threat at what they've been quick to be first to defend, really.
That's a pat on the back for the manager, isn't it? He's put Kewell up front, and he's produced the first goal on a big occasion at Anfield, as it always is when these 2 major players in the Premiership meet. Pires just had that shot a moment or 2 ago when Lauren was in a very good position on the right-hand side, and he's impeded by Schmitzer. Pires is just been on the edge of the game so far. Maybe he's wandering to try and make a greater impact. If only had just glanced that along the edge of the penalty area, Pires was well placed. And working away at Touré.
Good strength from Touré, Martin. Michael Owen's ambition there was to push Touré as far away as possible and then get himself between Touré and the ball. Touré was having none of it.
Liverpool's last win over Arsenal was the FA Cup final in 2001. There have been 6 meetings since then. 3 draws, 3 Arsenal victories.
This is as good as I've seen them start against Liverpool for quite a while. I mean, against Arsenal, Mark. They've really been right on the front foot, as I've said. They've pushed forward. Steven Gerrard has done what we thought. And he has gone forward more. And Salaf Chow just sitting like this now.
Gerrard on to Owen. Gerrard has made a run to the left-hand side. Owen's pass was underhit and picked off by Pires. Henry. Chance to run at Finnan. Republic of Ireland put out a foot to good effect. Republic of Ireland international. They've got a big game, of course, coming up in Switzerland. Touré lets it run to Lauren. Pires. Gilberto back to the acting captain. Not very far, Arsenal, so far. Here's Kewell. Schmitzer. That was another moment that reflecting some supreme confidence from Liverpool Football Club here.
There's more than one way to skin a cat, and I mean making a pass. The ball was slightly behind Schmitzer. It didn't affect his ability to try and find Michael Owen. And as I said a couple of times, the surface, as slick as it is, The ball really is skipping along it. Must have been close. Well, it gives another chance to see that wonderful strike. Yes, there's a bit of good fortune, Martin. As Edu smashes it against Michael Owen's head. Does he get that as an assist? But look at the way he's controlled that shot. You know, if you're a young player, just watch this. The way he's balanced and hits it. Absolutely top.
It's come to him almost knee high, hasn't it? And he's got over the ball. Textbook stuff. Touré. It's come off Touré's head, and Owen might have something to fasten on to here.
Oh, he can't be offside, surely, is he? Was he offside from the pass? The only thing I can think of is that when Risa played the ball forward, Michael Owen's in an offside position, because then the deflection doesn't matter. Well, he's not. I don't think. Oh, it's close. He certainly can't be offside there, but he's obviously given it for the pass.
Very, very close. I understand Owen being a little aggrieved. Pires. Yeah, trying to run in behind Houllier here. He just skips on the lush turf through to Dudek. A little surprised maybe he was to see Chris Kirkland named as a substitute a couple of weeks ahead of schedule. After his latest mishap, a damaged groin, which actually went in the warm-up for an England under-21 game. This is
going to be an interesting system. I'm sure Gerrard will be watching the rest of this game very, very closely, Martin. It's the first time we've seen Kewell play up top with a lone striker alongside him, i.e. Michael Owen.
It's a bit of miscontrol by Touré rather than the back pass the crowd were hollering for.
It'll be interesting to see, you know, I think the idea of Kewell's dropping off the front, he's going into midfield to give them an extra man in there at times, Liverpool, and get on the ball, leaving Michael Owen up top on his own. So it's an interesting little system he's put together for this game.
Schmitzer, who's revelling in it as well. Arsenal looking to Henry in particular. He'll be followed by the player cam for Sky Digital viewers for the next few minutes. By the red button on your remote. Powerful work by Risa, who's done well against Arsenal in the past. Finnan, Risa trying to glance it on. Oh, it came in a pretty similar position to the same player, Harry Kewell.
You know what, that's an example of, Martin, just how difficult the first chance was. Because if it was easy, he would have just stuck this one away. And that, again, it's another fortuitous deflection. Risa just gets in the way here. Does he get a little touch that affects Touré? Yes, he does. And then you think, well, it's exactly the same, and it shows how easy it was.
Well, possibly the bounce was a couple of centimetres higher. Certainly the shot was, and the rest. Pires.
That's the thing about big games assist. The importance of the first goal is there, of course, but you don't win a game at 1-0 in ties like this. If Liverpool could get a second, that really would test Arsenal.
Nice to remember, unbeaten in the Premiership this season.
Yeah, good tackle.
Lunge by Houllier. Technically, it wasn't a great tackle. Graham Barber indicating that he got the ball. Henry. And turned aside by Dudek, and Jow is still down.
Well, he couldn't have been closer, could he? Graham Barber, the referee, to that. He's a young kid, he's enthusiastic. Graham Barber's right beside that. Well, he comes in from the back. I think that's the thing that you could only say there. But what again, look at the difficulty the goalkeeper has here, Mark. This isn't the fiercest struck shot from Henry. Instead, skips off the surface and almost embarrasses Dudek.
Edu has to wait while the attention goes on for Jow. Dave Galley assessing the damage. Right there, Anthony Metallic, around the centre of the three Liverpool substitutes. He's the midfield player. Heskey could do a job as well in midfield if required, but Jow has gone off for further attention. Liverpool down to 10. Touré into the Kop stand. Remember, Arsenal have won at Middlesbrough, they've won at Manchester City, and though the scoreline hardly got a mention in the match reports, they did draw at Manchester United. On by Kewell, and Michael Owen tries to loop it over the goalkeeper, which he does, but over the goal as well.
Told you Kewell could spring. You know, he surprises people, I think, at times, Mark, with his ability to do this. It's to get up in amongst 12 centre-backs and win it. Liverpool could have put this game to bed, you know. By Michael Owen's standards, this is a real good chance. Goalkeeper stranded a little. He had enough margin for error, Michael, but just got a little bit too much weight on the attempt.
He hasn't scored against Arsenal since those two at Cardiff. 2.5 years or so ago now. Gilberto and Edu, Brazilian pairing at the heart of Arsenal's midfield. And after some extensive treatment, Jow is back on.
It's not quite happening for Arsenal at the moment, Mark. They've been a little wayward with their passing, giving away a little bit too cheaply. The manager's liking, I would guess.
Kewell heads on. As you said, Andy, that flick on for Owen's chance. I mean, if Heskey had been there, you'd have expected it, but Kewell can do it as well.
Oh, what a ball. What a ball. Oh, he's going to flies up. Those fans behind the referee and that fact, the linesman on the far side are giving him absolute pelters. Yeah, it's close again. He might be a half a step, Martin, offside.
If that, but very difficult to call. Owen bent his run brilliantly. Now they're cheering the flag because it supports Graham Barber's decision, but it's a free kick to Liverpool.
Well, it'll just be interesting to see if they can keep this pace up. Liverpool, I mean. It's been real impressive 27 minutes from Gerrard Houlier's side. One goal, could have had others.
He's trying to use the whip on the ball to reach the head of Bischam.
But it's only gone for a throw, so Liverpool can keep the pressure on. They should normally try and work to keep the ball in this corner if you're the attacking side. Make it difficult for the defending side to get out. And that's what they've done. They've run it back well. So, I mean, that's perfect, man. That's a good example. And the team right back in their own corner flag, got a throw in, and you get your men over, you make life difficult to get the ball out. You don't allow it out easily. What's happened? Liverpool have won a free kick in a really dangerous area, can load the penalty area.
Right at the start of the game, you'll recall they troubled Arsenal with a free kick from this sort of position. And this time Owen didn't get to the first one, he certainly got to this one. And it's another chance.
He doesn't need me to tell him. I don't need to say anything, really. Pictures will tell it all. It's a fantastic ball. Should be 2-0. Marking shocking. And I mean that, shocking. Gilberto scored like that against Newcastle off the shoulder. Michael Owen wasn't having as much luck. this against Tottenham, wasn't it, here, Martin? They had plenty of chances, Liverpool. 20 attempts on goal. Really felt they should have won the game comfortably. They didn't. And Gerrard Houllier might be thinking, 1-0 is never safe against Arsenal. This side should be further ahead.
Well, I said, what was it, 128 so far this season. They've probably got 7 or 8 to add to that. With just the 1 goal. Arsenal have scored more in the Premiership from far fewer attempts. It is what you do when the chances come, but creating them at such a rate as Liverpool have done this season, it's been encouraging for Gerrard Houllier and his coaching staff. It's been a very slick opening half an hour from the home team at Anfield today. Camp looking for a way forward here, but can't get it to Lauren. Gilberto does though. Parla. Sort of leaned over a Schmitzer leg. And here's a chance for Arsenal to show something of their own set-piece repertoire.
They certainly got enough that can go and head the ball.
Pires will take the free kick. And it's run on into the net, and Edu is claiming the equaliser. Certainly against the balance of play. Liverpool won, Arsenal won.
Never enough against Arsenal, 1-0. And Liverpool have paid for missed chances. It's a bread and butter cross. It's into a wonderful area. It's between the sticks. But the marking isn't good. The movement was first class. I'm not so sure which part of Edu's body, Martin, it goes in off of. Well, it goes in off of Sammy Hoopier. It might not even have been going in. I thought it moved somewhere. It looked a funny flight, but that ball's gone wide. Goodness me, 2 deflections have really contributed to both goals. And Edu's have been at both of them. He's attempted clearance off Michael Owen to Kewell, and his header that's gone wide off Hoopier. The only question is, will it go down as an own goal?
Pires. Gerrard. Now Jow. Brian Barber gives Liverpool a free kick and wants to just curb the enthusiasm, I think, of the player starting a game for Arsenal for the first time, Jeremy Aliadier, who was at the French National Academy. Edu's certainly got a touch, and I have to say, there'll be a lot of players claiming that it was his goal.
I think it's gone wide. I think it's gone 4 or 5 yards wide. I think that's an own goal.
Well, it is an own goal, but that's because the Premier League dubious goals panel calls it that these days, and it's just part of the detail of football in this particular league. Nicholas Anelka had a goal taken off him this week by those who sit and look at the videos, and I think Andy's just removed one from Edu's record here.
Well, that's the attacker, actually Cole saying, "No, what's the matter? I've won the ball here," but I'm afraid he didn't quite, did he? He might be pointing to it, yeah, but he didn't quite get it, actually. Well, what's been interesting so far today, Matt, is the way that free kicks, he's obviously getting booked for dissent, is he? It's the only thing I can think of. Linesman's upset.
Arsenal having to live with the fact that their behaviour is under even greater scrutiny at the moment.
All I was going to say is that teams have struggled with set plays today. Free kicks have troubled them. Anytime they've been in, both sides have struggled to deal with them well.
Gerrard takes it, and Touré gets a touch. Kewell gets it back. Touré's there again. What an important player he's developing into for Arsenal.
Yeah, he's done well. I think George Graham's of the view that he plays off the cuff a little too much from at the moment. And I think he's done well in that unit.
Lauren. It does take time, doesn't it, for defenders to really learn the minutiae of their business. That's why Martin Keown's still going strong at his age. He's sorted the job out. Touré will learn in every game that he plays this season for sure, and probably for many seasons to come. But he looks as though he's capable of playing for many seasons to come. And he's going to learn today, isn't he, against this young man?
He's been allowed away with it twice. Michael's had 2 good chances, Michael Owen.
Houllier.
Well, that's the difference when top sides play, Martin. I mean, you look at this first half and you think, well, Liverpool have been the best side by quite a distance. They've created fantastic chances, should be up. Arsenal get a free kick, knock it in the box. Header that's gone wide, hits one of the defenders' feet and goes in. It's 1-1. Game was never said to be fair.
How deliberate that was, but there was a bit of contact by Owen on Campbell. And how will Chelsea react to their midweek European home defeat? They're away in the Premiership on Sunday. You can see that game on Premiership Plus Channel 433, 1:30. And the Super Sunday comes from Villa Park. Aston Villa against Bolton. That's Sky Sports 1 at 3. Edu. Now Juve. How will Liverpool respond here to what territorially is a bit of an injustice that they're now level pegging with an Arsenal side that's had to deal with an awful lot of pressure in the first third of the game. It's as good a half an hour as I can recall Liverpool playing in a really big game here at Anfield, where sometimes they found it harder to get out opponents who sit off them. Parler trying to see the yellow card belonging to Graham Barber.
Well, 1 or 2 Arsenal players will have to be careful now. I mean, he doesn't do a lot here. He's chasing it. It's hardly a tackle of any description, but he's committed 2 or 3, Ray Parler. It might just have been a combination of all of them.
Cole booked. Parler booked. Schmitzer. Zhao. Now Finnan. Just for a moment, I thought actually Cole was going to kick the ball away then, and that would have been him off. And fortunately, he realised that from Arsenal's point of view.
I think he's just had a word with the referee. He's not just intimating there he ain't happy at the way El Hadj Diouf is going down all the time.
2 centre-backs forward again. Plenty of opportunities for Gerrard from free kicks from wide positions. Edu has done well against a couple of them. Diouf, first time cross from Gerrard, but they're queuing up to head it away. Rather slid off Campbell's head. Nice little retrieve for Liverpool. Lehmann took up a high starting position and had to go backwards because of that. A bit beefier the ball in from Risa than the German goalkeeper expected.
Yeah, I think he just slightly misjudged it. A good response. I mean, the goal has come and gone for Arsenal, the equaliser, but Liverpool have then picked it up again and taken it to Arsenal.
Shorter corner this time. Gerrard, a slip by Henry, but waiting Arsenal for it to come in, and when it does, a very good reach by Campbell. What a ball. Finnan. They've recaptured the mood, Liverpool. Can they recapture the lead? Kewell. It's a corner.
Well, they've been tested at the back, Arsenal. They've had to work as hard in these 38 minutes. And I've seen them in a Premiership game for a long time, Martin. Liverpool's football's been of a really high standard this opening half.
Kewell's corner. Gerrard stayed back. Houllier gone up for the corner. Finnan. How do you feel Sol Campbell is settling back into it, Andy?
I think he's been solid old. I think he's got involved. He's had to work probably harder than he wanted.
Here comes Pires. Arsenal 20 players forward. Henry lets it run. Parlour to strike.
It's a chance. It's not actually laden with goals in recent years. But Sol's been involved. He's had to be, simply because Liverpool have pressed forward, and here get involved. When Kewell, a wonderful run, and he just fizzes us across the 6-yard box. It's a excellent position Sol Campbell had.
And heads away from Owen there. Gerrard has really been the fulcrum of this for Liverpool. Danny Murphy said at the top of the programme, didn't he, if he plays well, Liverpool will play well. And I would say he's not short of company in terms of playing well in a red shirt so far today. It's certainly not been a one-man show.
No, I think his range of passing is the important thing. When he passes it well, then I think that's when Liverpool play well as well. But that's the last 10 minutes of the match. It shows you how Liverpool have responded since the goal.
Hey Andy, it was a goal from an Arsenal cross as well.
Right, we've told them a couple of those. Didn't they score the first goal against Newcastle from a cross? Another from a free kick.
They're listening to you.
Oh no, I doubt it.
They definitely are. I've read about it in the papers from Arsene Wenger. Here's a free kick from Gerrard. Kewell pursues, keeps the ball in play, but only for Arsenal's benefit. Won by Touré.
I'm just looking at Smeeks. I don't know whether he's got a problem. He doesn't look happy. No, there's a shake of the head. I think it tells us that there'll be a Liverpool change. Yeah. It's going to be another Frenchman, I think, is coming up.
Juve. If there's a leg strain, the game's been played at such a pace, helped by the conditions in that respect. And also by the fact that Liverpool really got the bit between their teeth right from the off. Schmitzer doesn't get to half-time.
Replacing with 11, Vladimir Schmitzer.
He was 19 yesterday, Anthony Talek. His 4th appearance in the Premiership as a substitute. He started the UEFA Cup game in Slovenia. He's had 2 years of senior football in France with Le Havre. Gerrard Houllier signed him over 2 years ago and loaned him back. The Florent Cinema Congolais as a young forward. I'm sure we'll get some chances here on the senior side before the season is out. Barosh, I think, will be out until the new year. Jamie Carragher, a strong presence with Liverpool until maybe February. Close to going out of the area there, Lehmann.
Good pressure.
Putting the pressure on Cole. Gerrard. Isn't the best ball back from El Hadj Diouf.
But that's invaluable. I mean, you can imagine what Houllier and Bishkan feel when they see Harry Kewell 60 yards in front of them going and winning the ball that high up the pitch. It's fantastic.
Well, it's a great coup by Liverpool to get Kewell to come here against plenty of opposition in the transfer market. I'm told he made up his mind very early. This was to be the club for him.
Well, according to this week, they said these were the only two involved, weren't they? The two sides on the pitch at the moment. It was a straight choice.
Oh, it's a mistake by Bishkan.
That's an interesting one. Obviously, Graham Barber felt the ball was won. Ali Adier was looking rather quizzically at the official. Would have given him a decision to make.
Arsene Wenger, I think, was of the same mind as Ali Adier that Igor Bischan committed a foul there. I think Bischan's own body language almost betrayed him. He was waiting for a little bit of retribution, at least in terms of a free kick, maybe more. He was close to being the last man, Igor Bischan. Here's Gerrard, headed out by Touré. And from Pires, and here's the battle resumed between these two.
Yeah, we'll see this one now. Does Ali Adier get the ball? Yes, he does. There's the tackle. Now, that's why Arsene Wenger's furious, Martin, down in the touchline. Absolutely furious.
Well, all you can say in defence of the referee, must have thought that Ali Adier slipped. And here's Henry. And Bischan puts it behind as Arsenal build an attack which improbably could have led to them going in at half-time 2-1 up.
To say it's been a smashing first half, and I think that's all mainly down to Liverpool, the way they've come out at this game and really gone at Arsenal.
Arsene Wenger's been pointing out the strength and fighting spirit of this team in the right sense, their attitude since Old Trafford. How together they all are, and we're seeing that here. In goes Touré.
Was that suddenly Arsenal cross?
Liverpool looking. It was.
Well, this is I'm not saying it's a great chance, but it's a lovely teased ball in, and Touré does get to the ball, but there's enough pressure on him from Jean Arisa to make the header difficult.
Kewell got to the ball there as Cole just hesitated. To Gerrard Brandt. To the pass from Natalik, who's on the ball again. And this is Risa. Jow.
Well, Jow's allowed Gerrard to go and do this now today, Martin. That's been a big difference for me.
Gerrard fires it across. Here's El Hadj Diouf. One goal in his last 34 Premiership games, plus almost a half here. It is contributing in other aspects of the team. Half coming to a close with Liverpool on the attack. Adier trying to collect the throw. Steve Finnan collected a bit of a bump.
Well, Liverpool haven't committed many free kicks in the first half in this match, Martin, but he's absolutely adamant that that should be 6, and maybe something more serious should have happened regarding Igor Bischan, but it wasn't an easy decision for the referee to make.
It wasn't an easy first half for Arsenal. They'd be pretty relieved to come in level pegging. Harry Kewell marked an excellent opening half an hour for Liverpool with a goal, and there were several other chances not taken. Edu had defended well at times, but he, with the help of Herpius deflection, got his head on a Pires free kick, and Arsenal snatched a leveller, and that's the way we are at the break at Anfield. 1-1.
George Graham and Danny Murphy are our guests this afternoon at Anfield, and after the break, among the topics for discussion, who did score the equaliser for Arsenal? Was it Edu or was it Sami Houllier? So far on Sky Sports, we've had 45 minutes of Liverpool 1, Arsenal 1. Liverpool went ahead through Harry Kewell in the 14th minute, and then an equaliser from Arsenal in the 31st. Quite a few fouls committed, and 2 bookings for Ashley Cole and Ray Parlour of Arsenal. Danny Murphy of Liverpool and former Arsenal manager George Graham are our guests this afternoon. Is that the best you've seen Liverpool play?
Yeah, I think it is. I think we've played some really good stuff. I mean, Kewell's been on fire. I think they're struggling to pick him up in that new role. He's floating all over the place, causing murders. And to be honest, I think we should have been, a couple of goals up by now. Arsenal, think themselves a bit lucky to go in 1-1 at half-time, I think.
And Harry Kewell, you'll know well from your Leeds days, George. I mean, he's playing as well as he's played for a long time.
Oh, he's been an outstanding player on the pitch. I mean, Liverpool have got out the traps very, very quickly, and I think the tempo of their passing, the tempo of their whole game has been excellent.
I mean,
luckily that fell to Harry's strong foot, his left.
And was it maybe a fortuitous ricochet, but what a finish.
Well, that's what happens when you get a wet pitch, Ian. You've got to stick balls in, you know, with a lot of pace. And if you get a break, and they got a little break there, and it fell to Harry's strong foot, and he finished it off. But if Michael Owen, you know, really was on his normal form, you know, Arsenal could be about 3 down. Yeah. I mean, Michael Owen's had great opportunities, and Arsenal will be delighted with the result just now. After 45 minutes been under the cosh, they go in 1 each. Now he's got to tell the boys, hey, we've got out of jail here.
Well, you mentioned, Owen, here are a compilation of his chances from the first half, and as you say, George, maybe on another day?
Yeah, well, I didn't think that was a great chance. I mean, that's a good strike and a good save by the goalkeeper. But he's got a couple of headers. I mean, Harry again, he's won a lot of balls in the air. Michael's got it through there. He's got to make the goalkeeper work. He's got to work the goalkeeper there. But a lovely little flick on from Harry Kewell. Arsenal back 4, a bit at sea there. But I expected Michael to hit the target and make the goalkeeper work. And another one. I mean, this, it just needs to, the slightest of touches and it's a goal.
And Arsenal will be in the dressing room now, won't they? Be saying, did we get out of jail or what?
Definitely, without question. I mean, really, they've looked dangerous in a few set pieces and a couple of corners, the crosses. But they've been outplayed today. And they look, to me, they look a yard off the pace at least, all over the pitch. And I would think Wenger will say, listen, you know, we can't be any worse than that. You know, let's go forward and have a go in the second half.
Right, boys, you're the FA panel. Tell us who scored this goal, will you?
I think, he won't like me saying it, but I think you'd have to put it down as an own goal. It's a great ball in from Pires. I don't think Edu's got too much on it. I think it's actually going wide. Just see there, it's touched Sammy's foot, so it's one for Sammy, I think, unfortunately. And it's bad luck for us, that, because, you know, I think we have dominated the game, and I think they've struggled to come to terms with the movement. You know, good rotation. Positions from the midfield, especially.
You were talking about that because last week at Charlton, everyone was saying, "Oh, they've switched wings, El Hadji Diouf and Kewell," but actually they haven't. It's just the way that they intersperse.
I think just the fact that, you know, we've got players moving in different positions now means that it's more difficult for the opposition. And with Harry playing in that space behind Michael, they don't know whether the midfield to drop off and get him or the defenders to come out and get him. It's difficult for defenders, and the way we're playing at the moment and creating chances, it's obviously very promising for the second
frustrating
half.
You're not ahead though.
Yeah, very. Yeah. That's a bad sign. You know, when you played that well, you want to be going in winning the game. Arsenal will be delighted, as George said, because if you play that badly and you're still in with a shout, then, you know, you never know what's going to happen.
But the Arsenal goal, Danny, I mean, it was a great delivery and great movement by the Arsenal front boys. And that's what happens at set pieces. If you've got lots of movement, you lose defenders, and you finish up getting a free header there, albeit it came off Hippie's foot.
Well, Liverpool have dominated, but they've only scored the 1 goal, and what a goal at that, coming from Harry Kewell. He scored his last 3 matches against Arsenal. 2 of those were for Leeds, of course. Back to the second half next. We wanted to know what the referee had to say about the incident that got Arsenal's manager absolutely incensed. And Graham Barber has told us this was not a foul. Biscan on Ali Dier. What do you think, George?
Well, without question, Ali Dier gets there first. There's no question it's a free kick. I think the referee has been very pernickety. You know, I think he's booked the Arsenal players really, and there's not really been a dirty foul. And I don't think that Arsenal had 16 offences against them.
All right, thanks very much, George. Let's get back to the commentary team. Here's Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
At 1-1, remember, if Liverpool were to go on and win, they would cut the gap to just 3 points. But should Arsenal win, it would widen to 9 after just 8 league games apiece. Liverpool, of course, had to make that substitution close to half-time with Letalak on for Schmitzer.
Yeah, Letalak went right side, Martin, and Diouf came to the left side, but they've switched that round at half-time, and I think that's probably because Diouf was pretty effective on the right-hand side. He had quite a good opening, and I think he's anxious to get him back on that side. Just on that Biscan challenger, I think what we noticed from what we saw there is the ref was a long way away, and I think the second thing, importantly, is that Sami Hyypiä was certainly in an area where he would have got across and challenged Ali Dier. So I think had it been given a free kick, then the only thing we'd have seen was a yellow card rather than the red.
Steven Gerrard on the ball, and that often means those booming passes towards Michael Owen, who collects that splendidly. He gets his cross in, and it's just too high for El Hadji Diouf. And then a bit of contact between Kewell and Cole, free kick to Arsenal.
Fantastic skill. First, the ball from Steven Gerrard, Mark, was just pinpoint accuracy. And then it was all about Michael Owen's ability to twist. Look at this. What is that? 60, 70 yards? Right onto its target. The only thing El Hadj just does wrong, and I don't mean it to be a criticism, he's just in a fraction early standing. Had he been 2 or 3 yards out, just about the corner 6-yard box, could have moved on there, got a good header. But they're unlucky again, Liverpool.
Yes, if you are a striker, as Juve certainly was in France, then you sometimes see things a little easier when you're in a wider position, coming on to crosses and from position, but he misread that one.
A good player, Cam, if he's as active in the second half as he was in the first, Steven Gerrard.
Owen was very nearly caught with the ball at his feet. He could only prod it out of harm's way. It bounced up and struck Ashley Cole on the arm, not much more than that. Plenty of hollering from the Kop stand.
It was another example of good pressure high up the pitch, wasn't even on the goalkeeper.
And let it dropped. Help with Houllier, who's certainly worked very hard, given his chance today. Sylvain Wiltord did well in August when Arsenal won those 4 straight games. It was a very good month. Arsene Wenger got the manager of the month. They were scoreless in 3 of their 5 games though in September, still awaiting a first Champions League goal. It's a big month October for them because they've got a game against Chelsea following this trip to Liverpool. Finnan crosses. It's close again.
That must be coming, surely. It's not often that Michael Owen has as many good chances as he's had and doesn't hit the target with them. That one's more difficult because he's simply under pressure, physical pressure from Kolo Touré behind him. It wouldn't have taken much. A little glancing header downwards would have really given Lehmann a problem.
Juve. Gerrard trying to set the same tempo at the start of the second half as he did at the start of the first. Juve.
You see, you can't allow Steven Gerrard in this type of form, Martin, that type of time. You've got Gilberto and Edu in the centre midfield. Now, I'm surprised that Arsene Wenger didn't go half-time. Listen, one of you has just got to go straight on him. As soon as he gets the ball, pressure.
Short corner for Liverpool. Kewell. Trying to work the percentages, really. Juve. Finnan. Campbell got to it. Talak trying to launch himself. A touch from Herpier.
Well, they've picked up the bat and ran with it again, haven't they? Liverpool at the beginning of the second half.
The last 3 Premiership games have finished level between Liverpool and Arsenal, home and away, but this is only level on the scoreline. Certainly territorially, Liverpool calling the tune.
Yeah, they just backed off here, both Campbell and Kolo Touré. A little bit of indecision. That was a long ball. You'd expect your centre-backs to be coming through Harry Kewell and powering a header back downfield, not allowing Kewell to bring it down. Certainly worth thinking about a hit this. I know it's a long way out, but the way he's been playing and striking the ball, certainly with his passing, it might be worth a thought.
But rather than go for just sheer power, maybe try and find a lower route, a skimming shot. Try to get a bit of dip to it. Cole. The Arsenal players we're talking about, and not the Pires and the Henrys, it's the Campbells and the Tourés. Need to defend again. Sol Campbell gets the free kick. Just got his body in front of Gerrard.
It's probably an example that George Graham meant when he felt the referee's been a bit whistle-happy today. There's not a lot there, Martin, that's going on. Steven Gerrard isn't doing an awful lot wrong. He's very, very quick to put whistle to mouth.
Kewell. Touré. Henry intercepts. Arsenal can think about attacking, and they're doing that with some numbers, but the ball was the most difficult one that Henry could have looked for. A really incisive one for Ali Adier. Great if it came off, but it didn't quite for the Gunners.
Lovely little step over from Diouf there, completely fooled Ashley Cole.
Gilberto intercepts. Henry. Zhao's tackle, he's good at that. Simple pass to Diouf. Kewell. Pires having to defend. Kewell rather threw himself down. Carla trying to buy Arsenal a bit of time on the break here.
Offside. Held a good line, Liverpool there. He looked surprised. I thought, I mean, I'm not right in line, you're on the halfway line, but it certainly looked as if he just a little bit anxious to get in.
As that ball was played, I looked to see where Henry was. He was down below us on the halfway line. Oh, near having a chance of linking up with Ali Adier, even if he'd not been offside. Here comes Diouf. Here come Liverpool again. A bit of defensive contact by Pires, as there was on Kewell a little earlier, or marginally on Kewell, I would say, who seemed very happy to go down. This time, Graham Barber has kept the whistle away from his mouth. Here's Henry moving through the gears. Parla. Edu. Good vision.
That's a lovely open game of football, I have to say.
And a bit of tidying up by Salif Zhao. Measured ball by Risa to Kewell's head. Latalik keeping it going for Liverpool. Gerrard. Again, Touré at full stretch.
And again, look at the time and space Steven Gerrard had there, Mark. Just put his foot on it, have a little look, and then play the pass. In this type of form, that's a dangerous policy Arsenal adopting.
Parla. Oh, it's deflected. He might have made it a bit more comfortable for Dudek. And certainly Gilberto trying to keep an eye on Steven Gerrard here. I'd be happy if he just restricts him to doing that.
That's what I mean. That's what you have to try and do. There's no point in dropping back off Steven Gerrard like this and saying, go on, then get it in turn. Make him play it while he's facing his own goal.
Pires. Edu. This channel right at his back.
Well, they've restricted Henry, haven't they? They've played him quite well. He hasn't had the best service to feed on. I have to be honest. But the one thing that Gerrard Houllier will know is that it doesn't matter what you do to Henry for 89 minutes. In the 1 minute left, he can destroy you. Again, doesn't feel it was a free kick.
He'll certainly know Henry, of course, as they worked together in that French academy. And tries to Christian Damiano alongside the Liverpool manager on the bench there. Henry. Ten minutes gone at the start of the second half. Parla. Greater impact on the match. Pires likewise.
He's been quiet, Robert Pires, hasn't he?
Cole. Pires had a good chance in Moscow in midweek, of course. We mentioned at the start, Andy, about over-reliance on Henry. when Pires gets his goal-getting. He scored here last season and is a regular contributor, but not just in this game, but really this season. I haven't really seen him as quite the marvellous player that he's shown English audiences over the last 2 or 3 years. He started his first full game, I think, was against Liverpool on that stormy Monday night. And Lauren scored. It's Lauren and Parler between them, earning Arsenal the corner.
Well, they just seem to have ridden that little spell out, Arsenal. Opening 10 minutes of the second half was a bit frantic for them defensively. Liverpool started brightly and well. Just starting to ask 1 or 2 questions of their own now, Arsenal.
Christian trying to mark Campbell, and Gilberto pulled out. Quite get the trajectory of the ball right. As you said earlier, Andy, it was a strange goal that he scored against Newcastle, wasn't it? Definitely off the shoulder. Cole. Again, Pires now has imposed himself here. Houllier. Pires. Switches it across to Lauren. More authority about Arsenal's play at the moment. It's been quite a long time coming in this game, but that's been largely down to the excellence of Liverpool for long spells. Cole. And that's the home team that have got to do the tracking back, the filling in, getting their defensive shape right. Henry. Cross to Lauren again, the outlet ball. Parler, and Latalik gets at the Liverpool foot to the ball. Owen suddenly off and chasing. Shoulder to shoulder with Kolo Touré. Pires, Edu, Henry. It's a very good spell this for the Gunners. Lauren is swarming forward Arsenal.
Oh, what a waste. Look at that. Henry at the back, Cole at the back post, both unmarked. That was the best piece of football they've played. They kept possession moments ago, Martin. They didn't go anywhere. This time they did. Now look at the back post area. Henry peels away. We've got 3 players coming in there, totally unmarked for any sort of cross at all. Well, pretty level on attempts. Pretty level with attempts on target. It doesn't tell the whole story.
Off the back of Kewell's head. Had to scamper. And there is chasing in case there's a miscalculation from Houllier or Dudek. Kewell. Owen. Latalik. Behind Finnan. Juve. That's behind Risa. And although he keeps it in, some of the precision of Liverpool's passing, which has been so eye-catching for much of the first hour of this game, just deserting them. Henry. This Chan is going to get a yellow card this time. And now Arsenal can argue, well, if he got the one in the first half,
he would be off. I tend to think they might have got away with that, you know, had he been booked.
And maybe he wouldn't have made the tackle.
Exactly.
Had he been booked. Ifs and buts. But this is in the book. Here you go, Bischan. Cole. Henry. It's there to be hit. And it's there to be held by Dudek.
Yeah, good hands. Houllier and Ashley Cole, of all people, are looking for anything that comes back off Dudek here. Doesn't quite get the venom in the shot he would have liked. I think what Arsenal have done the last 10 minutes, they've done better when they haven't had possession. I know that sounds daft, Martin, but they haven't allowed Liverpool to dominate as much, and their own possession is, for whatever reason, has suddenly become a bit better.
More accurate, a bit more purposeful. One can lead to the other, of course. And here they've run the ball out of play here. And Liverpool have a throw with Finnan. Rain falling heavily on Merseyside again. Well, that was a painful block there by Michael Owen. And a week away from England going to Turkey.
Oh dear.
What are the ramifications of this?
Well, this is worrying, Martin, and I mean it's worrying. It just looks a general block here with the right foot. Up it comes. I don't know. Ooh, he's gone under that knee and ankle and everything. Look at that. That was a horrible landing on his right side there, and that's where the problem is. Well, for Michael's sake, and obviously England's with that game a week away. Hope it's nothing more than jarred. You don't see Michael Owen with his hands on his head in such pain, Martin. Thierry Henry showing some concern there down.
It was an instant reaction, wasn't it? And as if pain had just shot through his body. And Gerrard, Houllier, first and foremost, we talk about England. It's very bad news for Liverpool.
Well, it's bad news for Michael, first and foremost, the lad himself. But, you know, he's been busy today, hasn't he? He's been a real threat. That's typical of what him and Kewell have done today, you know, going and closing down defenders like that. It doesn't look good.
And he's down on his feet.
I'm not quite sure which area is actually paining him at. I mean, it could have started at the ankle, which went under him, and then the knee, which went at a funny angle.
Well, Arsenal's players have been criticised, and they don't need to go in that anymore, but it was very good to see their compassion shown. And a much respected opponent, a member of the football fraternity.
Gerrard is making the long walk to see if Michael Owen's okay. To get one of those extended technical areas, Gerrard.
Yes, the fourth official, Alan Wiley, has accompanied him, just in case Gerrard does something silly, which is most unlikely, of course. And now Arsenal have also got a player hurt, and it's another England man. It's Ashley Cole. He's picked himself up. He's just holding a base of his spine, lower back area.
Well, the good news is that Michael Owen looks like he wants to come back on. So hopefully it was just like a little initial jamming, Martin.
Here's Pires. Henry. On the far side, coming out the air in behind Herpier, but it's not likely to clear the tower of strength at the back for Liverpool, the captain. Henry. Gilberto. On to Lauren. Palmer's cross, flag up. Against Henry, which will allow Michael Owen back on.
Hopefully that's all it was. He just found his leg in a natural position, really, with all his weight coming down on it.
Kewell. Campbell trying to be the boss. And Campbell had a couple of wins on this ground in his Tottenham days. And he was here when Arsenal last won in the Premiership in 2001 when they played much of the match with 10 men. Van Bronckhorst, you'll probably recall a second yellow card from an alleged dive.
He did half well, just there. Having won the ball, she just looked at Finnan, who was 10 yards behind him in a lovely position.
Dudek. Done by Letalik. Here in typically. Gilberto.
This is a more difficult game to call now. Full marks to Arsenal. looked at the beginning of the second half if it was going to be more of the same from Liverpool.
Here goes Henry. Cole kept pace with him, took a bit of doing, and then flashed it across an area where Dudek had to thrust up an arm. Parler wants it to run for a corner. Okay, the Talak had other ideas. There's certainly more menace about Arsenal, but as they press on, space be left at the back for Owen and company to cash in on. Edu. Very different feel, though, at this stage of the game to half an hour in. Arsenal looked as though they were really going to be put to the sword. Pires for the first time for a while. Gerrard's on the ball with plenty of space. Kewell, and there's plenty of room for Risa as well. Looks for Owen, doesn't get anywhere near it.
Arsenal's possession's got better, Mark, as the game's going on. I think from about 55 minutes in, the side have been better in possession. They've used it a little bit better, they've been more of a threat. Stifled Liverpool a little. I think that kind of thing shows you good possession from Arsenal.
Yeah, but here's Touré needing his speed of recovery after he jeopardised or threatened to jeopardise the good work that's gone on. Kewell stepped away from the ball, knowing he would have been flagged offside. It's a good effort by Arsenal at this stage. Remember, they're the team who've had the European work in midweek, a long way from home. They're the team that's had to travel to this fixture. And here they are, taking the game to Liverpool. And it's Liverpool 1, Arsenal 2.
What a goal. But what a difference the pressure on Steven Gerrard was, Martin. A ball was played into Gerrard now. Look at the pressure he's under for the first time in the match as well. Two Arsenal players are surrounding him, not allowing to turn. But from there, yet again, we're marvelling at this wonderful, wonderful finish. You talked about him. He hasn't quite arrived this season. My goodness, has Robert Pires announced his arrival now? He certainly has. Watch this for a finish. Sets it out wide of goal. Come on, back you come. And it does.
Absolutely unstoppable.
Well, they've scored when they had their best spell in the match.
Just as Liverpool did, to take a lead that now is long gone. And here come Arsenal again. It's a real show of strength in the second half. Ali Adier. Arsene Wenger's been talking about the pride that he feels in his players, and we've had the apologies from Arsenal. They've come in fits and starts from the manager, the chairman, the players. Martin Keown spoke out in Moscow. There was a spell that they wish hadn't happened at the final whistle at Old Trafford, but since that, there's been no chins on chests in matches for Arsenal Football Club. They beat Newcastle more by guts than any glorious football, in truth. They went to Moscow and kept themselves alive in the Champions League, and here they are when they really looked about to be swept aside by Liverpool. They are in front at Anfield, but there's still more than 20 minutes to go. I don't feel we've heard the end of this particular story, because it's Kewell.
He didn't quite get the shot, did he? The first bit was excellent. So typically Kewell.
There's time for Emil Heskey. He's still wincing, Michael Owen. His movement isn't free. Will they keep him on, maybe at the risk for England, but with Liverpool needing his ability to take a chance.
Well, his movement doesn't look good, I have to say, Martin. It hasn't. You know, normally a situation like that, he would have said, give me 5 or 10 minutes, see if it settles. And if it hasn't settled, then at this level there is no point in keeping Michael on.
Gerrard. With Talek coming round the back. He couldn't get it across to Owen, and just get the feeling it would have had to been right on a plate for Michael Owen, that he's not going to be able to go darting in. And as I say, great consequences for Liverpool in this match and this scoreline. But for all England fans, Owen going off prematurely a week before the trip to Istanbul. It was news of the worst kind. He's still out there. And Liverpool are still in the contest. Kewell. He scuffed it, but he still seems to have the measure of Arsenal.
He's a main threat. He is the major threat. He might not be anymore. We've seen the last of him. It just depends what damage has been done. Hopefully nothing serious. But a couple of days rest won't put right. Better treatment.
Number 10, Michael Owen.
Well, it was 2-2 in this fixture last season, and the late equaliser came from the player who's coming on for Liverpool now. Emil Heskey.
Will Touré coming on. Yeah, there's a young lad coming off. Houllier.
He's worked very hard, and I think you're going to hear a lot more about a name that's not the easiest to pronounce. Jeremy Houllier.
Arsenal substitution, Anfield with 30. Houllier coming on.
Well, we've seen quite a lot of Arsenal recently, you and I, and viewers on Sky Sports, Martin. And at times they haven't been at their best, but what they have shown is another quality you need. It's the one we've seen again today for 55 minutes when they've really had to dig deep to stay in a game they really could have been out of. And then what they've showed us is what I said right at the top. If you give a team like Arsenal a chance in a game, they've got enough quality to punish you. And that's what they've done in the second half. When they've had their best spell, they've used possession well, and then suddenly Robert Pires has found the kind of finish we know he's capable of, but maybe hasn't produced enough this year.
That's good play between Juve and Heskey. Still not quite attuned to the speed of the game. Parler picking out Will Touré, also like Heskey, recently arrived. Henry. And Arsenal got another goal in. Henry certainly got a cross in him, but it goes right into the midriff of Dudek, and Gerrard trying to reach out and grab those strings that he was pulling so effectively earlier in the game. Juve. Heskey's got all the power, all the presence. Really, you need in a top-class striker. I just wonder at times whether he really fully appreciates all the weapons in his armoury. Such a shy, retiring guy off the pitch. Occasionally that comes into his play on it. It's out. Zhao. Finnan with the legs of Edu. There's Will Touré. Henry. Well, his first thought was there was being in the right place defensively and pushing on. And put that down to sensible use of his experience, which all began, Ray Parler, here with a debut at Anfield, January 1992. What servant he's been to Arsenal Football Club. As the ball gets to Henry. Will Touré. Can he deliver a sweeping shot? Not quite of the Pires calibre. Dudek being urged to get on with it by the Liverpool fans. Lotalek. Heskey. Trying to clear a path for Harry Kewell.
He was unlucky, Kewell. Just skipped into his body rather quickly.
Finnan. Houllier. A bash on Henry's head, but he's okay. Let's hear from Jeff Shreves about the Michael Owen injury situation. Jeff.
Martin, very worrying scenes. Michael Owen hobbled down the corridor with club doctor Mark Waller and he said, I swear I thought I'd broken it as soon as it happened. He's hobbled off to the treatment room. We hope it isn't that, of course. We'll bring you more as soon as we got it.
Yes, that is very worrying news. Here's Henri. Kewell stayed on his feet. Good advantage played by Graham Barber. Gerrard charged down by Campbell.
Good play all round. Good movement, good thrusting one from Gerrard, and very good covering by Sol Campbell.
Liverpool have got the height. Heskey, Pischan, Herpier, and João as well.
Goalkeepers.
Let it go, but it's very easy to say that sitting up here. What he was told, maybe he didn't appreciate. Maybe he wasn't told anything by his teammates. But it's another corner. Kewell to fire it across in towards João. Oh, and Lehmann tried to get there, hasn't got there, and Arsenal are queuing up to get it off the line, almost to the point of getting in each other's way.
All three of them. It was an incident like that, I think, Aston Villa Park, where Kolo Touré smashed into his own net late on in the game.
Well, Lehmann certainly felt he was being impeded. The referee's had a word with Sami Herpier. A succession of Liverpool corners. That's the least threatening by some distance.
I'll be disappointed, Harry Kewell. Bit of pressure on, just drop it in there. But this is a winning. Full match to Arsenal. They do get plenty of yellow shirts on the goal line. I mean, Lehmann's just trying to get through everybody. I don't think there was a free kick, but between them, Pires and Touré managed to get this away. But as you can see, it's a good climb by the centre-back.
Would have been Juice's goal. Gerrard. Juice. Chance for handball, but not really from the players. Pires.
You know, maybe one of the criticisms last year, Mark, was that Arsenal too many times were in this position in games, and far too often for their liking they didn't go on and win the game. So this is a big test for them, having taken 2-1 late here at Anfield. Can they see this one out? A huge shot in the arm from a massive boost for the confidence. Should they need it, being top of the league. At times, I think
it would guarantee they stayed top of the league, wouldn't it? And rather like the Friday night through the weekend, they could relax. It's an early Saturday start here. They could say, well, you others, you can do what you like, but we'll be still top of the table come Monday morning. But there's still a bit to be done. Graham Barber doesn't see that as a Liverpool foul. Arsenal fans down the bottom left-hand corner, voicing their displeasure.
Yeah, it might have been foul.
Pires, Henri. Oh, that was off the lunge by Herpier. Sometimes defenders do get cautioned for, as Pischan will know only too well from this very half of football. My impression that just occasionally captains get slightly more leniently treated than other players.
Liverpool players obviously don't think there's a shot coming in, because certainly at the moment there's no wall taking any shape. Whether Dudek saying, well, he ain't going to beat me from there. If he has a shot, I should save it.
It is a shot, and he does save it. And the goalkeeper, who was, of course, linked with a move to Arsenal from his Dutch club Feyenoord, and ended up at Anfield instead. Touré. Touch was enough because it dropped for Lauren. The ball initially went in the wrong direction off the Arsenal centre-back. Parler still driving on, making Risa play it back towards Herpier. And he's found Kewell. Gerrard. Through for Heskey, but the flag was up, and in any case, Heskey was hoping for it down his right side rather than the left. And it's player cam now for Emil Heskey. Sky Digital viewers, of course, can access that facility via the red button on the remote. Houllier.
Well, I think they've been fairly comfortable, Arsenal, if I'm honest, Martin. Then, since they went 2-1 up, that little flurry at the corner, they had the one off the line. Apart from that, there's not been any real drama for them to deal with. Can't remember Lehmann having to do too much in goal to keep Arsenal's lead intact.
Liverpool already beaten here once this season by a London club, Chelsea.
Yeah, you know, those are two teams, Chelsea and Arsenal, that Liverpool will consider the main rivals with regarding a title shot.
Risa. Tour tucking back in. That's typical, although he's only recently arrived in the game, typical of what Arsenal have done. And they finally got to grips with their task. Fortunate to still be in the game at half-time. Really could have been 2 or 3 goals adrift at the break. Deflected equalizer. Here they are in front, and Liverpool almost giving them a chance to improve their position. So Biscan and Dudek got a bit close to each other. Oh, and Campbell, he's lost out to Heskey. And it was Lauren who stopped Kewell. Rounding it off.
He's lucky, Campbell. I thought he was paying too much attention to Heskey, Martin.
Now it's Gilberto, caught in possession by Kewell. Letalek! Oh. Well, a young French player trying to emulate what a senior French player had done for the opposition at the other end of the ground.
Well, there's such margins of games won and lost. How close is this to bringing the equaliser? Sends it wide of the post, tempted to bring it back in. But watch Campbell, he tries to deal with Heskey, Martin. Forgets about the ball for a second. And suddenly Heskey's away from him. That's good covering from Lauren. But the attempt from Letalek, it's a fantastic effort from a young man.
It's another of the Liverpool local lads, John Welsh, coming on for Jow.
Leaving the field, Solly Jow coming on for Liverpool.
It's an England youth international, and it's his first experience in the Barclaycard Premiership. Metallic. Well, they've been unlucky with the injuries in the game, haven't they, Liverpool? Schmitzer, who certainly fitted snugly into that expansive passage of play that made Gerrard Houllier's team look so good in the opening half an hour. Lost him, an experienced replacement in Letalek, Owen injured. And Jow short of match practice. It's his first Premiership action of the season as well. He's done the full 90. I mentioned that Chelsea won here. Will they win at Middlesbrough? You can find out. It's 1:30, Premiership Plus, followed by Aston Villa against Bolton. I wonder if Jardel will get a game for Bolton. Be interesting to see. Maybe he'll be there at Villa Park. He's been scoring lots of goals in the Carling Cup and in the reserve team. One of the great goal scorers in European football in the last 10 years or so. He's with Bolton now. He's a little bit overweight. And Welsh straight away on and straight away in trouble.
I think that's times when the referee should give a little bit of latitude to someone who's just come on, Martin, trying to find the pace of the game. He's been on 2 minutes. He's a young kid. It's nothing. It's a tackle. Pires tackles like that all his life.
But I'm afraid the philosophy of Premiership refereeing is don't give any latitude. An attempt, I guess, genuine attempt to be consistent. But I don't think any two incidents are ever quite the same. You should have the freedom to deal with it. Risa off the soapbox and back to the football. Lauren's back pass. We're inside the last 5 minutes. It's an awkward one for Lehmann to strike, and Gerrard got to it. Now the goalkeeper's out of the area. How's he going to kick it this time? Sufficient in the circumstances. Stayed in play. It's taken a bit of collecting though by Biscan. Gerrard looking for Heskey's head. Gilberto. Edu. Has kept them lit from that right-hand side in midfield. reset out of harm's way. He's such a buccaneering character, that Norwegian left-back for Liverpool, but haven't talked about him coming forward hardly at all in the second half. Kewell, metallic. The accuracy to the Liverpool passing, and there's anxiety amongst the Liverpool supporters. Pires. And for Wiltor, flag stays down. No one in the penalty area but Wiltor for Arsenal. Pires made a token gesture now.
Normal service then was in for Arsenal.
Henry just explaining why he's standing sort of 12 yards adrift and 30 yards from the goal.
Never his first instinct, was it, Thierry Henry, not to get in the box?
It's the bread and butter he wants, it's jam, isn't it?
Well, that's what's given them the lead. That type of finish from his fellow countryman Robert Pires.
They do. One from Lauren to Parler. Skip between two. And Parler presses on, but never played it blind in the end. And Sylvain Wiltor. Running down the clock here. Adding to Liverpool's frustrations. It was late in January when Arsenal, in the last moments of the match, lost a 2-1 lead with a goal at the top end. Gerrard. And positioning by Cole. Needed to be. Well, Pires has shown too much of it to Steven Gerrard. It's Heskey back towards Gerrard again. He's running at full tilt, and a fairly desperate effort at the end, and that sums up the disappointment, the devastation really for Liverpool. If they are to lose this game, it will be no consolation that they're going to lose it, should they do so, to a truly extraordinary goal.
Oh, it's a fantastic finish. Quality footballer and a quality finish. Absolutely no doubt about that. Just wanders up, says, go on then. Shifts onto his right foot, knew exactly what he wanted to do. But doing it's another thing.
Kewell, but it isn't over yet. Juve. Kewell, Pires there, got the ball. Gilberto, there's not an easy way out this time. Although again, Parler puts himself in a position where he can be found, and Risa can't get a foot in. And a few more seconds tick on. Touré. Mistake by Gilberto, maybe brought on by fatigue. Kewell.
Pity. Oh, that's a pity. Just didn't get enough on the drag, didn't stop the flight of the ball. Looked like he had fooled Sol Campbell as well.
Juve flicks it on from Cole. With another flick. It was so quick as running, and helps Arsenal tidy up and move into added time with their lead still intact. Of course, last season Manchester United did win here 2-1.
Went on to win the title. Arsenal the year before won here 2-1, and went on to win the title.
3 minutes.
Welsh. Risa. Now Gerrard. Kewell wins it. Heskey. Let's get a quick update from Jeff Shreves on Michael Owen. Jeff?
Martin, good news. The x-rays reveal there is no break to Michael Owen. However, he has a twisted muscle on his shin and he'll be assessed tomorrow morning. It's too early to say whether or not he'll be fit for the Turkey game.
And that's bang up to date from Jeff Shreves. Jeff, thank you very much indeed. Gerrard. Now Juve on the left. And Lauren stopped the cross coming in. And here we are again. It's a disputed corner, is it?
No, I think that one is a corner. I don't think they'll dispute that one.
It's certainly a corner. Kewell. That was a strange run.
That was a waste.
Here's Finnan collecting. Metallic. Herpier. And very neatly done by Lauren.
It was.
Takes some nerve.
Awkward.
At this time, in a game of this magnitude.
Well, it was always going to be a big game, this, with a... Well, it's going to put Arsenal 9 points ahead of Liverpool if it stays like this the last couple of minutes, Martin.
Henry. Touré will be first to it. This is where Arsenal want to be. Remember when they did win here 2-1 season before last, Kanu took the ball in that corner for what seemed like 5 minutes, juggled it from one foot to another.
I'm sure that Arsene Wenger will again point to his team's commitment, their desire, their togetherness, because that was important early in the game. We know they've got the qualities, but it was other things that kept them in it. Apart from Liverpool's finishing, Martin, Gerrard, Houllier, well, I'm sure on the other hand be saying, well, we surely deserve something from the game. And I think you might be right, I think they probably did, but you don't always get what you deserve, particularly if you squander chances. But it's going to be one last toss of the dice here. It's got to go in.
From Bisjan.
That's poor.
Graham Barber looks at his watch, looks again, and again. And again. And he allows Dudek to kick long. But Arsenal win at Anfield, a great result on a ground where they've had more disappointments than delight since the start of the Premiership. It looked that way again, but it was a tremendous response to being 1-0 down, a lucky equaliser, but a wonderful winner from Robert Pires. And Arsenal head south, knowing that they will still be top come the league standings on Monday morning, whatever happens elsewhere in the Premiership today and tomorrow. Here at Anfield, Liverpool 1, Arsenal 2.
Yes, no, confirmation from what Martin was saying there. Arsenal can't be caught, they will be top on Monday. Of course, all the others in action this weekend. Manchester United at home to Birmingham, Chelsea playing tomorrow. After the break, we'll speak to George Graham and we'll speak to Danny Murphy, get their views on, amongst other things, an absolutely superlative goal from Robert Pires. And was it make or break? Well, there was no break, but what will it mean for England's chances in Turkey? We'll talk about it in a few moments. So Arsenal have won here at Anfield by 2-1. We'll get the Liverpool view in just a second. First of all, the Arsenal view. Sol Campbell back after missing the last 3 games after the death of his father. Did he think that they were lucky to go in 1-1 at the break?
A couple of ricochets. You know, Kewell he scored from one end again. He got no ricochet what went over the bar. But you know, we dug in. They're at home, so they've got to play football, and you know, the onus is on them to win. But we dug in.
Were you proud as well? This is the sort of game where you let it go. You didn't kill teams off last season to have come out winning.
Yeah, it's a great result for us. You know, Liverpool at their place is a really difficult opponents. But you know, as Arsenal, you know, we dug in, we got the result, and you know, we just got to keep it going now.
How about yourself? How difficult has the last couple of weeks been?
Yeah, it's very difficult. You know, been off for 2 weeks, been training for a week. Yeah, you kind of reevaluate your kind of lifestyle, and you know, there's certain things in your life you got to kind of you know, think about. You know, football is at that time was second, but now, you know, sometimes you've got to lose everything to find out what you got, really.
And if selected, are you fit to play against Turkey?
Yeah, I'm fit. There'll be another week of training, so that'll help me. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Good to see you back. Well done.
Cheers. Cheers.
And presumably, George Graham, Arsenal will be glad to have him back, won't they?
Yeah, but I mean, today that was a magnificent win. The result was all important. Even if you were playing well and coming to Anfield taking on Liverpool, You know, to get a result, you've got to really play well. But today, Arsenal got a great result, ground it out when they had to, and they'll be delighted with that.
Now, make or break was the phrase that was used, which, however he meant it, by your manager after the defeat by Charlton. What do you think the phrase will be now? Was it break?
It was disappointing. Firstly, the result was disappointing, and obviously losing 2 more players with injuries is a big blow, especially Michael. We know how important he is, so hopefully he's not too bad. But we do have to take some encouragement from the first half performance. We should have had the game killed off. That's the best we've played this season. So we need to take some encouragement in that, but can't hide from the fact that it's a really difficult result for us to take that. As I said before, a draw wouldn't have been the end of the world, but to get beat from that fantastic goal was really disappointing.
So one of the players thinks. What does the manager think? Gerrard Houllier is with Jeff Shreves.
Gerrard, you've just been to see Michael Owen. What can you tell us?
The X-ray is clear. Doesn't seem to have any fracture. There'll be a scan done tomorrow morning. But he felt something anyway because his leg was on the floor and he felt something. So we'll see tomorrow.
Is it too early to assess his chances of being fit?
We'll see tomorrow. I think it's too early to say because it could be a minor thing or it could be a more serious matter. But I can't say. The game is in a week. Obviously, if he recovers quickly, normally he's a quick healer. But we'll see.
How down is he?
Well, he's down because he was just talking to me. He said they had a kick in the first half. I mean, they had only one chance and one shot also from Pires from far, but they were 1-1, and I think we had more chances than they had in the first half. But the boys have got to keep their head up because they've got to be proud of the game. It was a good game of football, and we just played a team which is obviously at the moment top of the league and defeated, and we know why, because they're very clinical and they finished their movement very well.
Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Twisted muscle on the shin. Let's have a quick word about Michael Owen first of all. This was the incident, George, and it did look very serious at the time. Jeff was saying he overheard him saying, Owen, as he came off, I thought I'd broken my leg.
Yeah, you can see he's almost trying to protect it there, knowing he's gone over on it. It looked as if actually at one stage it was probably ligaments in his knee. But I think as Gerrard said there, you never know until the next day, 48 hours afterwards.
He doesn't go off unless he's injured, Danny. You know him well. And is he a quick healer?
He is a quick healer. He's a tough lad too. I think it's encouraging to see the fact that he actually went back on and was able to do that. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope that he's okay, because he's a massive player for us firstly, and obviously for England too. So fingers crossed.
And again, just looking at it from a Liverpool point of view, I mean that's, I suppose you'd say, too many games that Liverpool have lost already. 2 at home, but they have been against Chelsea and Arsenal. Do you take any comfort from that?
Not really. They are teams we're competing with, but losing games any stage of the season means you're not picking up points. We have got a few injury problems at the moment, but you have to get through that. We have to come through it, and we have to show that we're big enough and strong enough, and we've got the character to bounce back, and I'm sure we will do.
This was the goal that decided it. Robert Pires, I'm sure it'll be amongst some of the best goals of the season. Again, you were wondering, George, at the beginning of this match whether Robert Pires was back to his best. I mean, presumably the jury's still out, but what a goal.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing about world-class players. They can be having a bad game, they can be quiet for about 80, 85 minutes, and just a couple of minutes of outstanding brilliance, and then they win you the match. Like this goal here. Comes inside onto his best foot, his right foot, and he just bends it round the goalkeeper. Tremendous goal. But the problem is with Liverpool's got is they've outplayed Arsenal, one of the top teams in the country. You've got to punish them. You must punish them when you're outplaying teams and you're creating chances, because you know that Arsenal are going to get better in the second half, and Arsenal did get better in the second half. Not brilliant, but they've got a result when they're not at their best.
Thank you very much indeed. Good luck with the injury. When are you back?
Hopefully 2-3 weeks now. 2.5 weeks.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
He's had his shoe off for most of the afternoon.
Got the smell, right?
Didn't show that though. Terrible. So we've seen Arsenal win after a first half in which they were outplayed by Liverpool. Gerrard Houllier did say it could have been a make or break game. We're not sure how things will be after that, and we'll also find out what the situation is with Michael Owen. Thanks for watching.
we'll see.
Liverpool had a great start, and we were a little bit on the ropes in the first 25-30 minutes. Couldn't get out of our half, and they were early on leading, and they had 2 or 3 chances to maybe kill the game. And with our first chance, we came back to 1-1. At half-time, we were conscious that we had to go more forward. And I would say you have basically seen the qualities in this side. First, a great resilience and togetherness when it was very difficult, and in the second half, when we came back to our fluent game, the possibility to make the difference and to get the points.
In that first half, were Liverpool that good, or were Arsenal that disorganised?
I would say we had the problems. We gave them too much time on the ball, and I believe Liverpool was very good in the first half, and as well that we had a little bit heavy legs to get into the game was difficult for us, and slowly it became better and better. But sometimes you have a difficult start when you play so many big games.
They had a kick.
Well, Sol Campbell has told Sven-Göran Eriksson he's raring to go for England. Campbell returned to the Arsenal side in the 2-1 win at Liverpool. He had missed the 3 previous games following the death of his father. Well, Liverpool were quicker off the mark and dominated the first half. They got their reward when John Arne Riis's cross deflected into the path of Harry Kewell. The Australian gave Liverpool the lead. Well, Liverpool were made to pay for not taking their chances. Sami Houllier getting the final touch off Edu's header, the skipper's own goal, ensuring that the sides went in level at the break. Well, a wonderful Pires strike was enough to have...
You know, Liverpool at their place is a really difficult opponents. But, you know, as Arsenal, you know, we dug in, we got the result, and, you know, we just got to keep it going now.
How about yourself? How difficult has the last couple of weeks been?
Yeah, it's very difficult. You know, been off for 2 weeks, been training for a week. Yeah, you kind of reevaluate your kind of lifestyle, and you know, there's certain things in your life you got to kind of you know, think about. You know, football is at that time was second, but now, you know, sometimes you've got to lose everything to find out what you got, really.
So Bobby Robs.